Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money Channel. So the FBI calls crypto money so they can arrest you for money laundering. The IRS calls it property so they can tax you on capital gains. The SEC calls it a security so they can sue every exchange. And the CFTC calls it a commodity so you can't use it as a currency. You see what they're doing here? This one courtesy of Crypto T on Twitter. I think we need a new government. This coming from Rod Friedman. For real. Yeah. The classifications, it seems, of crypto has been all over the map. And, all these different bodies are trying to claim a jurisdiction over cryptocurrency for one reason or another. What they do know is that we are getting rich on crypto, or we have the potential to become rich on crypto. I guess I should be very, very specific there. Not everybody is going to get rich, but, there is the potential for that. And, if you live in the United States, just be aware of the rules and regulations that are coming down the pike. And remember to safeguard yourself. Just the other day, I did a video, or at least discussed this topic in a video regarding self-custody and the fact that now U.S. government is looking at making self-custody or self-custody devices, equating those to broker-dealers. Guys, get your cryptocurrency off the exchange. Get them onto self-custody now before there are rules in effect. I do have an affiliate link for the Ledger Nano. You don't have to use my link. There are all different kinds of self-custody solutions out there. But if you're hoping your cryptocurrency is going to be worth a lot more in the future, I would seriously invest in something to safeguard that if you have not already. So where are we at today? Bitcoin trading at 63,500 per coin, not really doing too much in terms of movement. We haven't been seeing too many volatile days as of late. So 63,500. We've got neutral in terms of fear and greed. We've got the market cap that is up by 1.82%. 24-hour volume, that's down. We're not seeing, again, too much activity in the crypto space. And dominance, Bitcoin dominance has actually gone down a bit to 52.9%. So that was in and around 53 yesterday. Let's just bring up the Bitcoin dominance chart here. You guys can see this on the daily. Here, let me throw it on the weekly. Oh, that's the monthly. Let me throw it on the weekly here. Give you guys a sense of where Bitcoin dominance was in previous bull cycles. So when we saw altcoins really top, Bitcoin dominance did come down. We saw that back in 2021 as well. Back in May, Bitcoin dominance did come down. Altcoins started hitting new highs in and around here in 2021. But now we're seeing Bitcoin, guys, come back up. So the dominance sitting in and around 50%. And I still do believe that there's going to be, more bull run to be had before this number does plummet. So it really does suggest that the bull run is going to continue for some time yet. So let's take a look at some particular coins. Bitcoin is only up about 0.89%. We've got Ethereum up almost 5%. This was the other thing that some people were talking about, which I'm going to touch on in a bit. Ethereum to Bitcoin dominance. We've got BNB coin, that is up as well. Solana is also up 2.9%. XRP is actually up as well, but 0.5 percentage point. But, the sentiment in the space not feeling very bullish. XRP still just kind of trudging up, still making its way up, grinding to the upside. Nothing really too exciting here on the XRP chart. One XRP is trading in and around 52 cents as of the time of this recording. So the halving is done, yet Bitcoin continues printing red candles. I'm sure you guys have noticed this, and I'm sure you guys were thinking to yourself, okay, what gives? The halving event just occurred. We're supposed to have a bull run at this point. Is this it for this cycle? This is coming from Stock Money Lizards. A lot of folks are insecure, especially in light of the geopolitical and macroeconomic situation. So let's take a look at some charts and indicators. As we scroll down here, we see the short answer at the beginning is no, we are not at the end of the bull run market. We believe what we see is a correction, which could send us back to the $50,000 level. So be prepared for this, guys. This is a possibility, a very real possibility. Call it a triple top, call it Wyckoff distribution. Bitcoin is in correction mode right now. So we kind of already knew that. We still believe that this is temporary, though. In a thread on April the 2nd, we wrote double top, decreasing RSI, no bullish divergence in sight, and that there will be more downside. This has been true so far. This has been true, and so far Bitcoin stays in this corrective channel. So, as I've been talking about Bitcoin, just kind of meandering basically sideways, not really too much to talk about with regards to Bitcoin. And, I come on this show every single day hoping for something different. But right now we're seeing Bitcoin just kind of trading sideways, and this is pretty typical. But what about the halving? Okay, shouldn't that be super bullish? He goes on to say, yes, but as you can see, after the halving, the first thing that happens is nothing. It usually takes a couple of weeks or months until the second part of the bull run kicks in. So guys, we just have to be patient. It's only been just over a week since the halving. And as I've demonstrated myself on the charts, nothing really happens until it happens. So back in 2020, we saw 140 days without any real activity, any real new all-time highs. Back in 2016, it was 140 days as well. Earlier on, though, it did take a shorter amount of time, but I would compare ourselves more with more recent halvings, just because that is, well, now the market is larger, and so a lot more money has been poured in. Okay, but why are we going down? We have elaborated this in detail in most of our recent threads. In short, though, here's the summary, okay? Necessary correction after about a 300% gain, up only, war, recessions, fear, inflation, and reduced ETF buying. So there's the macro points as well that we should be paying attention to. Are we still really in a bull market? There are some simple metrics that show that, okay? The 1-year SMA shows that we are still in the very, very green zone here. So guys, bull market, yes, technically we are still in the bull market, even though we are correcting a little bit. Let's not forget the macroeconomic factors of, this, okay? We feel bearish because it's been how many days? 56 days back in early March where Bitcoin hit these prices originally. Okay, so only back in early March, guys, that's only 2 months ago, Bitcoin was trading in and around the same price that it's trading today. And then we've just seen ups and downs and ups and downs. Now, let's compare that to 56 days. Let's compare that to the 56 days prior. Okay, right in around here when Bitcoin was trading in and around 43,600. So again, very different feeling right now after 56 days compared to this 56 days, right? The next question is, how deep can we go? As we stated in our last thread, we have several layers of support to go. So 60,000, 56,000, 52. And so, if the first two break, there are strong signs that 52,000 will be reached before we finally move up higher. And again, guys, this is just going to take time. The amount of liquidity, though, lying in this area also, as seen in the upper image, this region coincides with the 0.618 Fibonacci retracement and should serve as a resistance level. So hopefully that's where we get some resistance. That we might go a little bit deeper might also be supported by the fact that the ETFs have not really been buying and supporting the price recently. However, we will see some renewed ETF buying pressure once the recently approved Hong Kong ETF goes live in a couple of days. So what is the short-term outlook then? Well, for May, guys, this is historically what we've seen for short-term outlook. 2023, we were down. 2022, we were down. 2021, we were down. We did see increases back in 2019 and 2020, but ultimately, guys, it's pretty much a mixed bag. I feel like we will probably see, well, he's saying here, a neutral month. I think it could go either way. If we're down by a bit, maybe by a bit more than this month. But at the end of the day, this is all short-term pain for long-term gain. We believe we can see some uptrend in May within the correction range, even if a breakout seems possible if market conditions remain stable. So his final conclusion, we believe that this is a correction. It is healthy, necessary for the charts to look good, and it is temporary, guys. So how much opportunity do we have to buy some altcoins? Well, guys, if you want to see what I'm purchasing, I still have money on the sidelines. You can find me at patreon.com/workingmoneychannel. I have the $10,000 plus portfolio, which is now transformed to a $15,000 investment portfolio where I've invested $15,000, and that is up by a bit. I mean, it was up more a couple of months ago, but now's a good opportunity to cost average down. You can follow all my trades at patreon.com/workingmoneychannel. I let all my viewers know when I'm going to be trading what. And I still do have some money on the sidelines. I'm not leaving any capital laying over there in stable coins. Not when we have big opportunities even now to buy more. And so, here we go. We've got people saying, it might be the last time to buy XRP. This guy here, Henry, Lord of Alts, he's saying XRP, last buying opportunity before the bull run of 2024 and 2025. Are you ready for life-changing gains? XRP holders, this is our last moment. DFTU. Remember, XRP is ready, and he says his target is about $2. So $2 per XRP, a very conservative target, I think, in my opinion. Here, this is XRP on the daily. What he's showing us here, guys, is this. Let me get rid of that, and let me put that triangular pattern here on the chart. Let me just go over here and show you guys we are now dipping in this wedge. Okay, we are now formulating this upward triangular pattern. And what Lord of Alts is saying is that if we continue, and I mean, I think we could. I think we could do something like this for a little while. I mean, just depending on the rest of the market before we kind of pop off. And so we're getting very, very close to this end point here. Here, let me get rid of some of that. Very, very close to this latter half of the triangle. And at that point, guys, we are eyeing an XRP worth about $2, breaking through all these levels of support here. Look, even on this chart, we're still under the 0.236. So a lot of pent-up demand for XRP. Getting back up to $2 would bring us, well, roughly back to that inter-year high that we saw in 2021. I do believe, though, in my opinion, that we are forming on the XRP chart something more along the lines of this, that, we will likely breach $2 just because the factors are there, and get up closer to what XRP did back in 2018, seeing an all-time high go back to about $3 and change, at least for the beginning, depending on where we're at in the cycle. So it could go higher than that, absolutely. And at 52 cents, guys, a steal of a deal right now for XRP, in my opinion. I said I'd talk about Ethereum to Bitcoin fundamentals. Well, check this out. From Lady of Crypto, here's what I'm starting to think, okay? Ethereum to Bitcoin, after a 6-week bearish trend, Ethereum has just broken out against Bitcoin. This was very similar to what happened back in 2016 and 2020. During the halvings, traditionally Ethereum leads an alt season, so flipping bullish is a good start. So this is the 2016 halving. She got the 2020 halving up there as well. Here, let me just bring up Ethereum to BTC just to show you guys here. And we are seeing a bit of a glimmer of hope here. Look at that, Ethereum popping off against Bitcoin. So yeah, I mean, we are. That is generally what does denote the beginning of an alt season. Lady of Crypto does go on in this tweet thread discussing other factors too, which I will leave in the description of the video if you guys are interested in looking at that further. But I mean, it doesn't help when news outlets like Forbes are publishing this good for nothing blockchains. Really, Forbes? Really? Number one on the list, XRP, followed by Cardano, Bitcoin Cash, Litecoin, ICP, Internet Computer Protocol, Ethereum Classic, and the list goes on. Now, I see a lot of real-world utility coins on this list, so I don't know how much stock I'm going to be putting into this list. XLM is on there as well. Algorand, another one that I'm kind of questioning. And they're taking, I guess they're looking at what's happening actually today. Good for nothing blockchains, guys. What they're not even considering here is the fact that we're so early on still. The regulatory clarity, the framework in countries like the United States have not even been green lit yet. Okay, they say here payment platforms have yet to challenge SWIFT, now threatened by stablecoins. So that is with regards to XRP, for example. XLM, they say, founder by Ripple co-creator Jed McCaleb, and competes with XRP, has large treasury. That is the comments over there. What do they say for Algorand? Ethereum competitor launch in 2019 still sees itself in Uber mode, focusing on growth over revenue. So, putting a negative slant on these blockchains. I don't know which blockchains they put in the top 10 or 20 good for something blockchains. Maybe Forbes, maybe you should publish a list to see what we think about your ridiculous choices. Anyway, wanted to thank Marty Party for posting that. Luckily, guys, we are seeing change, though. Bruce Fenton was in Dubai, their Token 2049 conference. Every 100 years or so, there is a huge change in humanity. Everything changes, power structures, the financial system. So you can see why, maybe the why the American government wants to get a handle on this, and why they're not giving us a clear message on how they classify cryptocurrencies. Listen to this, guys. Again, a clip of Bruce Fenton in Dubai, courtesy of XRP Drops.
Now is going through a fourth turning. A fourth turning is a time of epic change. It's named for a book of that title that came out in 1996 by Strauss and Howe, where they talked about how about every 100 years or so, there are these times of epic change in humanity, where everything changes. Borders change, systems change, old power structures change, and a new world is born. And this has happened again and again throughout history, and they actually predicted, they wrote this book in 1996, they predicted that we would have a fourth turning right about 2020 that would begin and last for about 8 years or so. So whether you've read the book or not, it's pretty easy to understand that we are clearly in this fourth turning. We are in a time of epic change. We are in a time of turmoil and chaos. And I don't think it's going to become less chaos. I think we're going to have more chaos and more uncertainty going forward. And the world is changing very rapidly. This place has changed radically since we did that first Bitcoin conference in 2013 and my first trip in early 2002. This place has changed rapidly. This entire region has changed rapidly. Saudi Arabia has changed rapidly. The United States has changed rapidly. And we can see it with our own eyes. Some things are getting much better. The UAE, I think, has vastly improved in the last 20 years. Unfortunately, my own country, which I love, I think has gone downhill in the last 20 years in many ways. And as we look at this fourth turning and we look at the way that the world is shaking up and we look at this chaos, we have to think, what is it going to look like in the future? What does the next 5 years and 10 years hold for us?
That's a very, very good question. You know, currencies do change in the last 100 years and 100 years before that, roughly. And before that and before that, there have always been transitions. Global reserve currencies have changed how many times? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 since 1450, the year 1450. So guys, you know, this is nothing new. We just have to be on the right side of change. And I think by investing in cryptocurrency, we are doing just that. So wanted to thank XRP Drops for posting that. Mr. Man bringing this up, guys, some positive news coming out of India with regards to real world utility. Both Ripple and Stellar have a hand in crafting the digital rupee, guys. This is through UPI payments. If you guys remember back in, when was this? 2023, this was reported that Yes Bank has launched its unified payments interface interoperability to take part in RBI operations with the digital INR. So Digital Ruby and Yes Bank is a Ripple partner. And even here, the headline says Ripple's Indian partner joins Digital Rupee CBDC project. Well, look what's happening with the Indian CBDC in India. Watch this.
BQ is back again at the Crafts Bazaar at the New Delhi Summit, and here we wanted to bring you an interactive demo in terms of how CBDCs are being used to make purchases, just in the same QR code that you're so familiar with. Let's walk by and try to see a live demo that's happening of a customer trying to purchase using their CBDC token, but just through the QR code, like we do for Paytm or any other UPI devices. So as you can see here, we have a customer who has their wallet open.
Now I'm trying to pay using the CBDC, and you can see there's a QR scan option which is there. Now what I'm trying to do is paying the user for 700 rupees which is there, and there's an option to enter the PIN which is there. And we can see the transaction is successful. And the notification has come there. I can see 2 notes are used. One is of 200 rupees and one is of 500 rupees.
Thank you so much. Thank you. This is a live demonstration.
Thank you, sir.
And the purchase behind me is completed just as simply. This is a demonstration of the retail CBDC. This was launched in December 2022. And as of the end of this year, RBI aims to complete 1 million transactions per day. This is an effort going towards that. And the UPI interoperability was announced in July. And we are seeing that now as quickly as possible it is being done.
So boom, live rupee integration, CBDCs being actually utilized in India. I wanted to thank Mr. Man for posting that. Ross Lecco just recently came out explicitly emphasizing that Ripple guides the IMF on certain issues. Guys, this is another one courtesy of XRP Drops. He did post this originally, the IMF's Ross Lecco, sitting next to Brad Garlinghouse, and thanks Ripple for their expertise, advice, and guidance, commenting how great it is for Chris Larsen to be on their board. Listen to this.
We are engaging very closely with the private sector and the industry, and last year put in place a high-level advisory group of industry leaders from the private and public sectors to help guide us in our work on fintech. I'm very happy to say that Chris Larsen, one of the co-founders of Ripple, and Sapnendo Mohante from the Monetary Authority of Singapore are both part of that group, and we're very grateful for the advice that they give us.
It is important for these private and public partnerships. Again, Ross Lecco from the IMF. Let me just go back to that first tweet from XRP Drops here. So he brought this up too, just looking further into this. Bank for International Settlements, Ross Lecco, has been there for 4+ years, but with the International Monetary Fund, guys, he has been there for 29 years. So very influential, very important, and, on numerous occasions have Ross and a representative from Ripple, taken the stage together. I know there's another clip of him denying, not really saying too much about the utilization of XRP. I believe it was back in 2018 or 2019. Unfortunately, I do not have the clip up here, but it has now been stated, okay, part of a group to help guide the IMF into this new financial system. And, looking at these partnerships, how telling is it that they have Chris Larsen on their board? So something I think is also very important to note. Wanted to thank XRP Drops just for pointing that out. The partnerships keep growing in many different ways. I happen to see this from Chad Steingraber. Visa has also launched stablecoin analytics site monitoring USDC and Tether, showing USDC has larger volumes, and Visa Direct has multiple connections to Ripple payment partners like Neum. Now, guys, check this out. Visa, this is coming directly from Visa's website here, analyzing now how stable coins are going to be utilized. Key metrics at a glance. Okay, taking a look at some of these metrics here, and they're looking at specific stable coins, including USDC, USDP, USDT, and PYUSD, which is the PayPal stablecoin there. So obviously now taking a look at these metrics, Visa, this is their on-chain analytics dashboard. And if you take a look down here, contact Visa Crypto. They are all in, guys. Of course, they're a partner with Ripple through many different avenues. And this is why I think, seeing these types of partnerships is really exciting, or seeing at least these types of advancements from these legacy companies like Visa, like MasterCard, right? To know that they purchased the company Earthport for something like $260 million back in May of 2020, I think, or 2019. Earthport has famously been linked to Ripple for many years before that. And so, at that time, Visa won the battle to purchase Earthport against MasterCard. They're all in on crypto, not to mention, guys, the other partnerships. Visa enters the AWS partner network now. AWS also has a Ripple connection. Remember their case study directly from AWS's website, partnering with Ripple, their partner profile, guys, RippleNet, talking about their decentralized global network for banks. I believe this was posted on their website back in 2018, if I'm not mistaken. We'll now take a look at this. Visa enters the AWS partner network. US-based payment card provider Visa has announced that it has entered the AWS partner network to enhance and simplify digital payments worldwide. As per the information detailed in the press release, Visa joined the APN, a global community that utilizes AWS technologies, programs, knowledge, and tools to develop solutions and services for their clients. Here they're looking at financial institutions and enterprise-grade clients, guys. So this is not for retail. This is for the big money that transfers through the system. Millions, billions, if not maybe trillions of dollars at some point in time. And check this out. This is going to incorporate 300,000 worldwide customers. So again, out of the millions of people on planet Earth, 300,000 of those enterprise-grade clients are going to be integrated into this gold standard solution. AWS Marketplace and Visa Cross-Border Payment Solutions both have partnerships with Ripple. Oh, and check this out down here. Before this news, Visa did partner with Standard Chartered, another Ripple partner, to optimize cross-border payments as the bank joined the Visa B2B Connect network and became the company's settlement partner. So we have the Visa Ripple Earthport connection, we have the AWS Ripple partnership connection, and of course we cannot forget Standard Chartered's initial investment in Ripple way back in 2016. Guys, we're adding to this infrastructure the building blocks, continue to keep building higher and higher. XRP at a very attractive price point right now. Before this next blow off top, I have a feeling this alt season is going to be really exciting when that time comes, but that's just my opinion. I want to hear what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.